So for this video, I just thought that, I've been doing like making content on YouTube for probably around 5 years now. Um, or I've been trying to. Um, I started uploading to YouTube when I was around 11 or 12 years old when I was in sixth grade. My name at the time was Granite Guy 28, but obviously since then it's changed. I believe my first upload was on November 8th, but I'm unsure um, because instead of privating the video, I fully deleted it. The first upload that is privated that I can still access was on November 21st of 2018. It was a shitty video that I recorded. I think it was on like this old ass tablet that barely even works anymore. Like I don't even think it works at all. Like it's extremely slow. But I believe that I recorded on that since I don't think, yeah, it had to have been recorded on that because I didn't have a phone yet. But yeah, a lot of my videos up until like I think it was around January of 2020. Most of my videos were recorded on my phone. That would be either like screen recorded gameplay or like real life content with my friends because I didn't really have a way of recording on my Xbox. And that was the main platform I played on, aside from my computer, which was a Windows 7 2012 laptop that could barely record Among Us. My computer wasn't that great. Couldn't record anything. Xbox couldn't record anything either. Eventually, I found a way to screen record Twitch VODs and stuff, which I'll talk about later. Summer of 2019, around August, I got Lyme disease. I was pretty sick for months. Because when I first went in, the doctors diagnosed me with mono, which is a disease that is transferred through saliva, either by like sharing drinks or stuff like that. But the only symptom I really had of that was body pain. And it was like in my joints, my arms and my legs. It hurt to move. It hurt all the time. I had really bad headaches at the time too, but they just said it was mono and gave me medications for that, which worked for a bit, but it didn't actually get rid of the problem. So I had to go back for a blood test and they told me that I had Lyme disease. They gave me medications for that and eventually I got better. Not much really happened after that. I wasn't really doing much content. I started uploading later around January of 2020 and then some Geometry Dash videos in February. Most of them were Geometry Dash. January was when I started screen recording Fortnite on my phone, which wasn't that great content. But that was my uploads in January. February, I was doing Geometry Dash videos that I screen recorded on my phone because I still didn't have a computer. In July through August, I found that I could stream on Twitch from my Xbox. So I did that. I got my phone and I screen recorded the whole thing. And then I would edit that down into a video and upload that. I didn't really do much around that time. The time that I really started doing YouTube was around November 2nd of 2020. I recorded the first video on my laptop, which was an Among Us video. It was, it's private now, but it was a it was a tutorial on how to get the new update on Among Us because it wasn't really working for me and a couple of my friends. So I did that. And on November 3rd, I hit 100 subscribers, which I don't know. I wasn't really like expecting that, I guess. It was really cool at the time. I uploaded my first like well edited video on November 10th. It was me playing Among Us with my friends. It was fun times. We would play off camera too. We'd just play a lot together, and it was nice playing with them. But the friends, you would probably know them as, I think it was Willow, still friends. Then their name was Willow, but now you would know them as Cat or Sabby. We still play together occasionally. Spoonbill, Dynamic, Pronohack, and Kuriyami. Spoonbill, we don't really talk much. Same thing with like Dynamic. We're all in a group chat, and I message there occasionally, but nobody really does anything in the group chat. Pronohack actually deleted Discord. So I can't really talk to him anymore. Pronohack was Sweaty Guy in the Among Us videos. I don't remember if his name was Pronohack at the time. I don't believe it was. And Kuriyami, yeah, I generally don't talk to them. November 21st, I uploaded, or I had a premiere set for November 21st saying that I was going to be taking a break from YouTube. And I listed some reasons, but those were very minor reasons. I didn't explain the real reason. The real reason was I started dating someone on the 18th, and I wanted to stop doing YouTube so that I could be better for them and I wouldn't have any distractions. I wouldn't get like caught up in YouTube or anything. I could just be a person. I could just be normal. But after the 20th, they kind of began ghosting me, and they ended up getting a new group of friends. So we didn't really talk much for the end of 2020 and almost all of 2021. That was a very significant event for me. It was like one of the most significant impact anything is up until that point. That was the most significant impact that anything had ever had on my mental health. I was slightly depressed before then. Like I wasn't really that depressed, but I was. I don't know if that makes sense, but after that, I began getting worse and worse and worse, leading to where I am now with major depressive disorder. I'm not blaming them for that. I have no hard feelings to them. We're still friends. And I've had other issues since that happened. So I'm not fully blaming them, saying it's all their fault, because it's not. I had a lot going on after that too. But I think that really changed me as a person. I'm not the same as I used to be back in November of 2020 because of that. And I think that's for the best. I think I changed to be better since then. But since they started ghosting me, I wanted to like, I guess, change my name online and like change everything about me because I didn't want to really remember that time. A little bit after that, I started streaming on Twitch. My first stream was on December 13th of 2020. It was a Fortnite gun game stream with one of my friends. I did a couple of streams with them again on Fortnite, but it was very rare. I didn't really play with them much, and I never really played with them after that. I had a few Minecraft streams with them too, um, but those were kind of eh. I mean, I never really would consider myself a streamer until I started streaming Hellfire, which is a level in Geometry Dash. And that was my first real streaming like series. The first real kind of repetitive thing that I would do on stream. And this was because of a very, I guess, inspirational streamer in the Geometry Dash community. You probably know him if you watch a lot of Geometry Dash. Aeon. He really kind of is the reason that I started streaming and doing content again. I would do streams inconsistently, but I was watching a video, I was watching some of his videos, and I saw him playing Hellfire, and I was like, oh, that level looks cool. I want to do that. And I watched some of his streams. It was very entertaining. It was like really fun. I was like, I want to do this. This seems really fun. And I think without him and without his like content and stuff that he does, I wouldn't be where I am now. I don't even really stream Geometry Dash anymore, but I still, without him, I don't think I would be where I am right now. I don't think I would have started streaming, which is crazy to think about because he's like the reason why I started doing all of this stuff, which, yeah, it's just like really weird to think about because I started off streaming Geometry Dash and now I'm like streaming Minecraft and stuff. I have my own server. A lot has come from that. Speaking of that server, I don't know how to transition that, but yeah, that server I started on January 4th of 2021. I invited everyone in my Discord server because the SMP actually started off as like a kind of non-scripted survival server that I would just let anyone join if they wanted to. There was a little bit of drama when the server first started. So I gave one of my friends admin perms so that they could build their house. It was like a castle and stuff. It was cool. And I was like, I'm not going to make you build the whole thing. You can have creative and just build it like that. One of my other friends who I'm not really friends with anymore, he didn't really like that. And he almost died once. So I just gave him creative mode so that he wouldn't lose all of his stuff. And I never really took him out of creative mode. So he did a bunch of stuff. He like griefed a bunch of stuff. Him and his friends like killed my friend over and over. And at the end of it all, they built a lag machine. So the server was crashing a lot and it was basically impossible to play on. I reset the server completely on January 12th, which completely killed it. Everyone that used to play on it stopped. Later that day, was when I killed the Enderman that dropped the rose, which is in the first war video. Yeah, that was the same day that I reset the server. Around that time, I also changed my name to Jayish because originally it had been JZ, which is basically kind of just my name but spelt weirdly. Instead of Jay, it was JAE, and then the first two letters of my last name. Thought it was cool. Wasn't really cool. But yeah, I changed my name to Jayish. Later, I invited my friend Ecstasy, his brother. I didn't really know Ecstasy at the time. It was just one of my friends asked me to invite his brother, and his brother asked me to invite his friend. I invited Ecstasy's brother and his brother's friend, and they were kind of problematic, to say the least. They would kill people. They would like, they couldn't exactly grief stuff because they didn't really have anything, but they did what they could. And when I just got sick of them, I banned them from the server, but they got upset about that. And at that time, we had a Google Doc that I shared with everyone. Everyone in the server had edit access to it. Anyone could like type their ideas for a story, and then I would look over it and we could do whatever was on there. And on that doc, they put 34 pages of just like size 20 font. It was just the N-word over and over. And I didn't realize that. So I accidentally opened it on my school account because the way my computer works, I don't know if it's the same for everyone, but I have 2 separate Google accounts. And if I last open something with my school account and then I click on a link, it'll open with my school account. So I clicked the link to the doc and it opened on my school account, which instantly got flagged. And a couple of other people from my school did it too. So we got a call from the dean the next day, maybe. It might have even been the same day. I don't really know. All I remember is it was in chemistry class because I remember hearing the phone ring. I was like, it's probably nothing. And then my dad called my mom and like he sounded pissed. And yeah, I was like, oh fuck. It's that document, isn't it? Then my dad called me down because the dean asked him to have me come down. Came down. We could really, like, everyone who opened the document also got a call, and we all backed each other up. Like, it wasn't us. We all backed each other up, and I don't think any of us really got punished for it because it wasn't us. Yeah, that was the end of that for them. I added them back. So Ecstasy's brother, you would know him as Loxxd. He was on a couple of lore videos I have, and another one of his friends, Jamix, which most people probably wouldn't remember. I don't think anyone actually would because he was exclusively on streams. There are no videos up right now that he is in. And he was the one that spammed the whole doc, which I didn't know because he changed his Minecraft name and I never really checked. They said it was Ecstasy's friend. So I was like, probably not the same person. I didn't even think about it. So I added them both and they kind of started some shit on the SMP. February 20th, I bought MVP++ on Hypixel and I started streaming private Bedwars, which is a lot of the reason where I am right now with, I don't have like a massive amount of followers on Twitch, but like it's decent for what I'm doing right now, at least. Back to the SMP. Loxxd and Jamix were both extremely toxic. This went on for probably around a month. I'm not gonna play the videos of stuff that they were doing, but I will link it if you want to watch it. They say like a slur in the first 2 seconds of the video, so warning for that, I guess. They got banned again, obviously, because they're fucking annoying. I never added them back after that because I was just so sick of their shit. Even though they wanted to be added back. Well, one of them did. Jamix just blocked me when I didn't care. I could go into more detail about it, but it's not that important. It was just basically him saying that I favored him, that I favored Shattuck instead of him, which is bullshit because I had favored him for the whole month. And eventually when I just like, all this shit was coming on him and I was like, that's a lot of shit you did and it's kind of shitty. So I mean, I knew at the start that it wasn't the best, but I didn't know it would get this bad. I didn't really see it until the end. And then when I saw it, I was just like, fuck this, you're out. So once they got banned, a little after that, on May 14th, I started a group chat to have people help me script the SMP. And 6 days later, on May 30th, I started another group chat that we eventually decided the name would be The Boys. You might have heard me say that in streams or videos. I'm not completely sure if I've referenced it before, but it was a group chat of about 10 people. The Boys had a varying list of members. I don't even remember all of the people who were in it, but the main people were Alchemist, Howl, Cat, me, Cool, Prism, Jane, Squid, and Spencer. Now that list changed a lot, but those were the main, I guess, people that were in the boys for probably the longest amount of time too. Not much happened between then and like August of this year. There was a little bit of stuff which I can mention. It's not like super important, but I guess it's worth mentioning it. There was a little bit of stuff that happened in the boys. There was the occasional drama, but I'm not going to get into it because I'm not in the boys anymore. I got kicked out and yeah, I didn't really want in, but I'll go into that later because that happened more recently. In the boys, we used to like play a lot of Minecraft together. We play Hypixel, Bedwars, Phasmophobia. We just call and talk about shit. One of the most significant events in the boys was on March 25th of 2022. I made like a whole album about it. Well, there's no lyrics, so you wouldn't really know what's about it unless I tell you, which I am. But that was the 316 album. Basically what happened then, which I can describe why I named the tracks what I named them, and I'll just get them up on Spotify here. So the 316 album started with Depression. The reason it's called Depression is because I was like, I remember the day too. I had just got out of the shower and I texted my friends and the boys like, would you be like disappointed if I wasn't around anymore? And of course they were worried about me and they said yeah and stuff, and we were talking about it. But my dad came in because I think we had like an argument or something before. I don't fucking remember. But he came in and talked to me a bunch for like an hour, and during that hour I couldn't respond to them. So you can imagine how being left in darkness, which is the name of the second track, for an hour after your friend says that, would you even care if I was gone, can be a little bit worrying. I came back around midnight, which is when I apologized for disappearing and like I couldn't talk to them. One of them, Alchemist, he had already fallen asleep, which is why one of the tracks is called Heavy Sleeper. It's a pretty short one. It's basically just a joke track. But one of the messages was like, we'll tell him in the morning he's a heavy sleeper. And that's why I put that track in. After that, I found out that my group of friends in the boys thought about my like closest friend differently, which was a nightmare to me. I was like, I thought that like I did that because of all of the things that I said about them before we kind of reconnected. So after that, I like explained everything that happened from the time that we met until the point where we were then. And after that, everyone went to bed and I stayed up talking with that friend until 3:16 in the morning. And yeah, that was a crazy night. I think I skipped school the next day because like I did not get enough sleep for that shit. That was like the biggest event in the boys, and there wasn't really much to be said after that. Now, I'm not going to say too much about this topic since it's like a very personal and still like very sensitive topic for me. But in late September, I was in a relationship with someone, and then another person told me that they liked me, and that really scared me because I don't like rejecting people. I don't like disappointing people, and I'd be disappointing someone either way. And you'd think the obvious choice would just to be stay with who you're with because you owe that to them. Like you're with them. And I I was too scared of letting someone else down. I never really knew how to say no to people. Um, so I kind of got that person kind of manipulated and forced me out of that relationship, which I still regret now. I don't think I'll ever really forgive myself for that. But I was manipulated out of a healthy relationship and forced into a toxic one that I didn't even want to be in. During that time, a lot of things happened to me that I can only believe I deserved for what I did. A lot of a lot of things happened to me, a lot of stuff that I never thought would happen, a lot of dark stuff. I was not in a good place then. Um at the end of the relationship, it was late October, a little bit before Halloween. It was somewhere between the 20th and the 30th. It was somewhere in there. I don't exactly remember when, but I remember that she called me and said that we need to seriously talk, and that she said that she didn't feel like she was ready for a relationship and she needed to take some time for herself. And that was great. I felt like an actual pressure being relieved. Like when she said that, I think we need a break. I was so happy because it was finally over and I could just kind of slip away. And I kind of did, but it didn't go as smooth as I wanted it to. Um, I stopped texting her first. I would respond occasionally, not really that interesting. I thought maybe that would just kind of let things die out. Um, but it didn't. She accused me of SA, which she accused me probably along with most of her 57 other exes. Yeah, she's fucking crazy. Um, I was her 58th ex, and I knew before I was even with her that she was fucking insane. And I think that's a part of the reason why I was with her was because I was scared of her. I was scared not only of disappointing her, but I was scared of what she would say about me, accuse me of. So I gave in every time only to get where I am now, which it's it sucks. I I tried to just let things go easily, but of course they can never go easily like that. Um After that, my mental health was affected a lot, so I wasn't like I'll admit I wasn't the greatest person. But I don't think this was completely my fault either. Um the drama that I had mentioned before in the boys, I'm gonna kind of go over that now. There was a pretty big fallout between me and Kulv. To be clear, I don't think he's a bad person. He's just not a good person for me. I don't hate him. I have no hard feelings. I just don't think I can be friends with him because I just don't think we can. I don't think he's a bad person. I just don't think he's the right person to be friends with me. I had said something completely directed at no one, something that one of my friends, M, says all the time. I said it and he went fucking off on me. I didn't even direct it at him. I didn't respond to a message. I just sent it and went offline. And when I came back, he went fucking off. I read through all the shit. It wasn't really that much, honestly, but it was a lot. It wasn't like that much text, but it was a lot of shit. I blocked him after that, but we didn't exactly start talking again. I had left the boys because I just didn't feel like I belonged there with everyone else. And during that time, he said a lot of things like he never really even cared for me in the first place. And to be honest, that didn't affect me at all. I didn't care. I didn't care about him anymore. I don't wish him anything bad now. I don't have hard feelings now, but then I didn't care at all. When I got added back to the boys, I I wasn't upset anymore. I wasn't that mad. I was just still upset. And I had full intention of being as rude and toxic as possible. And I think I succeeded because that was the most toxic I'd ever been to anyone, ever. I don't think that what I said was unjustified, but I think if I had said other things, I wouldn't have so much fault in the fallout. I didn't exactly have much fault. It all started over me saying one thing that M says all the time. And I did definitely make it happen a lot more. I could have made things better. I could have apologized for something that wasn't my fault and made things better, but I didn't care. I don't particularly regret that decision, but I also kind of feel bad. Yeah, that was that. It happened probably a month ago now, a couple months maybe. Um, but yeah, that's the most recent big event that's happened. And yeah, that's basically everything. I've been working on my mental health recently, and I think that I'm on the road to coming back to streaming and uploading. This is just a random upload. It's not really like I'm back. I just wanted to record this. I've been meaning to for a while, and well, here it is. I don't know when it's gonna come out, but yeah, here it is. Well, thank you for watching. I doubt most people stayed this whole time, but if you did, that's really cool. Like that someone was interested enough to just watch my whole story from content creation from now all the way back to when I started in 6th grade. I'm in 10th grade right now. 4 years ago, over 4 years ago, I started, and it's crazy to think about how long it's been. I think about what I thought I would be now when I was in 6th grade, and it was nothing like this. But it's just interesting to think about to me. But I've talked enough. Thank you for watching. See ya.